So John, the FA Cup starts tomorrow for us away to Shildon. I guess that's a really massive game for us to start that run.
Yeah, obviously the lads can't wait to get going in it. It's something that in recent history we've had a couple of good runs in it, and something that we want to obviously continue, especially off the back of last year's success.
And Shildon's a tough team to play though. They've had a very good start of the season. I guess you're expecting a difficult game there.
Yeah, look, we obviously remember Shildon's exploits in the Northern League, and they've always been a good side, and you know they've now moved up a level and they're kicking on again, which is fantastic to see again in the North East. We've done our due diligence. We haven't just gone, oh well, they're in the league below, this is going to be a straight away win. We've had to look at them, and we've put some work into it. You know, they've been dangerous. They've turned over Dunstan, who obviously we know have got a lot of players, quality players there, and they had a tough game on Monday against Stockton. So we're ready, we're prepared, but yeah, there's no doubt Shildon will turn up and want to kick us out of the cup as well.
There's one of the players we know plenty about, Will McCamley, former academy player, former loanee as well. I guess it's a good thing to come up against him and to see him again.
Yeah, and I'm sure Will can't wait. A little bit like everybody, the FA Cup's a special day, but if you get the opportunity to play against the team that you've been at or been involved in, it has that little bit of extra spice. We know all about Will just as much as he knows about us. He's a skillful lad. He's fast. He's pacey. He's hard working, and we're going to have to be very wary of him.
Last season we had a great run in the FA Cup, reaching the first round for the first time in the club's history. This season's going to be a bit different because you're going to have a lot more fans in the grounds. Will that add a bit more to it for you this time?
Yeah, of course the fans will make a difference regardless. Every week now, everybody I think is just enjoying having that atmosphere back, and it's causing more excitement than it is nerves. I think everybody's just enjoying having that. So yeah, if we can get to those levels again, if we can get towards that stage, and we can, that was probably the biggest disappointment of our cup run, wasn't it? Going down to a place like Cheltenham, FA Cup first round, and not being able to take our fans with us. So imagine what it would have been like if we'd have took our lads down there and our fans. It's been great. So yeah, if we can get on a good run like we have done in the past, I mean, I'll forever remember the York Day here and things like that, and the Hartlepool games, and they were great days. And we have to keep striving for more of those.
If you look back on the run from last season, what sort of qualities are you going to have to show again to reach a similar sort of stage this time around, would you say?
Well, it's a funny question actually, because I think we've always known, we've always believed inside our club and our changing room that the squads that we accumulate and put out on the pitch are capable of playing at levels higher. So in the initial periods, in the initial starting rounds, we have to maintain focus, we have to maintain the way that we play, our identity, and guard against complacency, which is something that our lads are very good at doing. And then once you start going into the further rounds, into the qualifying, and the lads from the league above and the league above that start coming in, then you have to be on your A game. You have to show why we believe so highly and why we believe we should be in the leagues above. First and foremost, I think everybody can see this year the changes we've made at the club. We're sharper, we're a bit fitter, we're quite strong. We've had a great start, which is something that, in my history here, we don't do very often. So when we start getting those other teams, I think actually other teams may be more aware of us now than they probably have been in the past. Got to guard against that, and we've just got to show what we're about. I think we've got a lot of lads here capable of playing potentially upwards of Football League, so they've just got to go out on days like that, relish the opportunity, relish the challenge, relish the fact that there's going to be a lot of eyes on them, and go out there and enjoy themselves and show what they're about.
I guess you take a lot of confidence into this game off the back of Monday at Scarborough. Can you talk through that game and how pleasing it was to see that from the sidelines?
Yeah, look, a bank holiday weekend is always the toughest part about being a footballer, a little bit like the Christmas period. The games come thick and fast. You don't get much time to recover, and the lads obviously put a good performance in on Saturday at home. There was a lot of room for improvement after the Grantham game, but you don't have much time to get that info in, you don't have much time to turn that round, and the players are going to be tired. They came in on their Sunday, we had a couple of hours up at Harton to get their legs right, and then to go down there, to travel on the bus, and to put the performance in they did was so pleasing. The numbers were through the roof regarding athletic output, their distances, their sprint distances, their actual physical capabilities were fantastic and on show. But obviously the first half we completely dominated with the ball as well, and then the second half, wind against, tough pitch, off the back of that game on Saturday, they saw it out and created more opportunities. So from our point of view, it was probably the most pleasing moment since we've been back together as a squad.
And that continued the strong start of the season, as you mentioned before, but I guess there's a real sense that you can go even further now and improve even more.
Yeah, and again, the squad's only going to improve with potentially the additions that we keep mentioning that we're still looking for. And the lads inside the squad are improving day in, day out. We see improvements in the young lads every day. The fact that the lads are in full time, they're starting to get into that routine, they're understanding their bodies, their preparation, the intensity at which we can work at is great. So yeah, the squad that we've currently got are improving every day, and hopefully, obviously, around the corner, we may improve it by bringing people in.
And these results that you're having, is that sort of lessening the pressure on you, but getting someone in really quickly, that you can really take your time to get the right people in now? Yeah,
I think that's important that we talked about before, that you get the right people just as much as you need the right players. There might be a player out there that you would look at and think, he'd be a good addition, but if you do your due diligence and you find out there's things that you might not want inside your changing room, that's just the way it is. We've got a very strict policy on the way players behave and our behaviours and our beliefs at this football club. So it is tough, and when you get to the start of the season, you haven't quite filled your squad. There is that worry that maybe a couple of injuries or a couple of bad performances, and the pressure does crank up in trying to find those players, and you may just jump in and make the wrong decision. The lads have performed fantastically. The young lads in the squad need a special mention because they turn in every day. They push the senior players every day. They've pushed them to the point that a couple of them are playing now and they're involved in the squads and they're getting off the bench every week. And the other lads aren't far behind. We have really evened the playing field a little bit. That in itself alleviates the pressure. If Fence can look at the younger lads and go, I'm not worried, I can throw him in. Then again, it just gives us that little bit of breathing space to take our time with that next signing.
And the squad should get stronger on Saturday because yourself should be back in contention for that one. I guess a relief for you to be back in contention again, and I guess you're ready to go for that one.
Yeah, I was hoping to be involved at Scarborough Monday. The timing of the groin niggle at Witton was a bit annoying, I suppose, and frustrating for myself. Being half, I actually was worried about my calf. I know Fence mentioned at the end of the game that my calf had been troubling me, and it wasn't too bad. I was just kind of being cautious. And then I went out in the second half, made a quick run, and my groin tightened up. And it is typically with me, 9-10 days, I'm usually back out there ready to train. And I think it was 8 days on Sunday when we came in, and I did a fitness test with Andy. I did some work, some longer striking, some running, and I was fit, but not quite fit enough. I knew that there was something not quite right, and the last thing we wanted there was for me to travel all the way down to Scarborough on a bus and potentially break down again. So we have to be cautious with me, and I know that's something that Lee and Graham used to say about me. It's harder to do for me personally in this seat, but it's allowed me to have those extra days. So obviously we didn't do anything on Tuesday after the game. Back in, did a little bit in the gym on Wednesday, trained against yesterday, trained today, and hopefully I'm back in tomorrow, ready to play.
This is the first time we've caught up with you on camera for quite a while. How are you settling into the new role as a joint assistant manager alongside your playing duties?
I love it, and we've had a lot of conversations about since I've come to the club. I think my initial thoughts of joining South Shields was potentially a short-term plan. I always said that I planned to play longer, but I didn't know how long I was going to be here. And I think even though I used to say play till I'm 40, I think in my mind, 34, 35, I probably expected myself to actually be out of football completely. And I've loved every minute of my playing time, and then into my coaching, into my academy role. And I suppose it looks from the outside like a natural progression, but to get to this position, it's been a lot of hard work. But the only reason I've worked so hard is because I absolutely love coming to work. I absolutely love my job. I love the people that I work with, and moving into this role, it's been great. I probably do longer days in a way, which I shouldn't necessarily do because of the expectations in the job in the academy was obviously a long job. But I love getting to work early. I love getting things set up for the lads. I hope obviously my relationship with them is even stronger now I'm in this position. Working alongside Fence day in day out is something I really feel privileged to do. You look at the man's career, where he was as a player, how he's developed himself into a coach and manager, and the fact that he asked me into this role. Like I say, I feel privileged with that. So I've got no reason to not enjoy my days.
Just finally, one last look ahead of the Shildon game in terms of the team selection. I'm sure you're not going to give away the team lineup a day before the game, but can you give any insight into the sort of things that's in your mind going into this one?
Yeah, well, as we've touched on, we are off the back of a run of tough games, and the lads have performed extremely well, whilst putting a lot of miles, and as I said before, their physical output has been big. So we do have to look at the squad and look at the team and see what's best for tomorrow, knowing that we've got another game in the league around the corner on Tuesday. As you said, fortunately, we have got a body coming back fit this weekend, but at the minute we've just got to maybe wait a little bit longer, after a couple of niggles and injuries we've had and again the physical output over the lads at the weekend before we put the team out there.